So I recently read an anecdote of a man who many years ago was shopping in a store, and he saw one of his buddies, and he decided to go up and talk to him, like many of us would. And he noticed that his friend had some boxes in his arms, and on the boxes there were some labels that indicated that the contents therein were of a romantic nature, because they said things like flowers, lingerie, perfume. And so jokingly, he said to his friend, he goes, "Hey man, what are those for?" And then he realized the foolishness of his mistake, and he said, "Look, I'm sorry, forgive my babbling. It's really none of my business. I shouldn't have asked you." And his friend said, "Listen, don't worry about it. You don't need to apologize. Let me explain." He goes, "Over the years, as time goes by, many men will look for greener pastures in which to graze, but I'm a firm believer in fertilizing the one you have." Do you do that? Do you do that? It's really necessary to consider that and ask yourself not only if you do it, but how you do it. My son and I were talking the other day. I took my 20-year-old son out to lunch, and he was talking about some friends of his around the same age that have jobs where they sometimes have to go out of town. That's the age-old story, right? They go out of town. Their employer puts them up in a hotel. And then when the day is over with, the nightlife turns into something else. And it's regardless of whether they have a wife or girlfriend at all or not. And I said, almost all these guys go out to strip clubs. And I said, yes, I know. I said, I've had jobs like that before where I've had employers that sent me out for week-long meetings. And they put us up in a hotel, and they give you a stipend of money to spend on meals, outside of the free lunches they give you. But at night they pay for your meals. But I said every guy that I knew was going out to strip clubs at night. It didn't matter that they had wives or girlfriends. They didn't consider who was staying at home for them. And I'm not making an assumption. I know that they had other people in their life because they had talked about it, but they didn't care. And I said I couldn't do that to your mother. I said instead I saved the money that they gave us, and I was poor. We were poor. I saved the money that they gave us, and I skipped my meals at night. And at the end of the week, before I went back home, I went somewhere and bought your mother something nice with that money. Now, I did not tell him that I bought things of a similar nature for his mother, but nevertheless, he doesn't need to know that. But it meant a lot to her. It meant a lot to her at the time because she knew that it was a sacrifice. Well, I didn't really think of it as much of a sacrifice. I can go without a meal, but she thought it was thoughtful, and it increased the value of the gift. What do you do? Now, I can't say that I've always done that. I can't say that I've been really great about it, and I probably should have done more of that. But what do you do? Think about that. How can you fertilize the field in which you have instead of looking for greener pastures in which to graze? And some guys aren't looking for permanent pastures in which to graze, which is just as bad. I mean, so that's the thought I have for you today. Yesterday was my wife's and I 22nd anniversary, and I wish I could say it's been all fun and games, but it wouldn't be honest. It wouldn't be honest at all, and nobody could really say that. And so instead of dropping a lot of cliches, I just want to say, think about what I said today, how it can apply to your own set of circumstances in your relationship, and be creative. Be creative and see what becomes of it, and let it be your testimony. All right, guys, I hope you've enjoyed that. I hope it's meant something to you. Pass it on to somebody that needs to hear it. If you haven't liked this video already, please hit the thumbs up button and subscribe and share it with your friends. Someone needs to hear this, I'm sure. All right, have a great day, guys. I'll catch you in the next one. Be wise.